Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Always happy to hear from you. So drop something down there, we'll get back to it as soon as we can. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once you're in the general chat area, just add me as a member of staff and we'll be happy to get back to you with anything you may need. Okay, so let's get into this. So basically, I'll be messing around with this a little bit today, depending on where we actually pull this channel to. If we actually put it onto these bottoms here, we can argue that we haven't touched it yet. But if we move it up to the wave 2 position, we can see that we actually have. So I am just keeping an eye on this. If we do look to push down lower here, effectively this could lead to a deeper move here towards this 382 that we've been talking about for a while now. But we are also in this previous fourth weight range here. So we need to just be careful because this could actually start to develop a move to the upside for this fifth wave, which is what we're anticipating. So we're right in the zone here. And effectively, it's going to be interesting to see how we react from this point. We were talking about looking at this as a flat correction, and effectively we were looking at the fact that we have the potential for a five-wave structure to the downside, which is what I'm currently tracking until it proves otherwise by actually moving back above this 1604. If we move back above that 1604, then we potentially just have a three-wave move here, and alternatively, we've completed into here, and this could just be an ABC, or we could look at this whole move as a W, X, and a Y to the downside. Though it would be neater as a ABC, but yeah, I mean it can be a WXY. We fail to continue with the fourth wave, and then we look to push up. If we are looking for pushing up at this point, what we'd be looking for is this 1871 to this 1772 as a wave 5, typically. Though we'd have to be careful because the 1-to-1 of the wave 1 actually brings us into the zone of this previous high, and it could mean that we actually look to form a double top should we start to move up from here. Primarily, though, I am still looking for more downside here. So we're looking at this in two ways. We're looking at counting this as a single wave here, as a 1-2. And then we would have to argue if this is the case that either we are still within this yellow fourth or this yellow fourth is completed here. So if this has completed as a flat correction here, where we get 335, effectively then we would be looking at this move down over here as the fifth wave. Um, so if we are looking at that as completed, technically speaking, we're looking for this fourth wave here, and I've put this box here in case we do get some extension. And what we'd be looking for is the potential that we could see this complete back into the range of this fourth wave. So I mean, technically speaking, we've actually come in here; it could be completed here. However, I'm just allowing it a bit more space to see whether we actually come back down, find support in this yellow box area here of this 1516 to this 1501, and then looking to see if we get an additional push up for the C wave. So if we actually came back down into that 618, the 1-to-1 would actually bring us right up here towards this 1564, which would be the 1566, would be the 0.382 retracement. So that'll be interesting to see whether we get a move up into the zone. If this is correct and we do get this ABC play out, what we'd want to see then, so we want to start to see a rejection of this zone, and we'd want to see this get impulsive with a 3, 4, and a 5. So a bigger 5-wave move to the downside. Target zone off that 382 would be around this 1472 to this 1414. So we can see that that would also actually bring us quite close, or bring us nicely into that 0.382 retracement. And effectively that could then look to move up from that point. So that is basically what we are looking at within this move. There is also the possibility we could look for some extension within the waves, and for the most part, this hasn't invalidated. If we completed into this high point here, then it would actually make me more likely, in my opinion, that this one's playing out. But we'd have to see whether we get these additional legs, because if we do get this as a 5-wave structure like this, where we actually push it down one more time here, what we'd be looking for is whether we get additional 5-wave structure, because let me throw this one on. So what we'd be looking for then is effectively this teal third wave would actually move down here, and then we'd be looking for this additional fourth and fifth as well. So there's not much difference between these moves. The main difference is that this one would have an additional fifth, a fourth, and a fifth. So this is still something, whereas the current move that we're looking at with this as a wave one would only get one more fourth and fifth. This would get two fourths and fifths. So that's the main difference here. If we do start to push up higher here and this move starts to become bigger, it becomes more likely that it is actually the teal fourth that we went over previously and not the micro count. And so yeah, if this starts to get too big like this, then I'd be more inclined to think that actually this fourth wave is the fourth from here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. But like I said, we can't cross this 1604 if this is the case. If we do move up past it, then effectively this would be invalidated. We'd have to just treat this then as a three-wave structure, or alternatively, we could be looking for some extension where this becomes an additional 1, two, and but if that does play out, effectively we'd be having a much deeper decline if that's the case, because this would be setting up for a much deeper drop. And what we'd be looking for potentially as a rejections zone here would be this 1591 to this 1651. So if we do move up past this into this zone, we just need to be careful. Um, we could look to break up into this zone and then face further rejection and actually look to break down from that point. So that's just something that we need to keep an eye on within the structures. Okay, so effectively that is what we're looking at. We're still potentially looking to come down a bit deeper here, but we are in this fourth wave zone. So what we're going to be talking about next, actually, let me just throw this on here. Yeah, so what we'd have to be looking out for is the potential that we could actually look to break out of this area. And the way that I'd be looking at currently would be its potential for 1-2-1-2 situation. But what we want to see here is actually a move back down into this teal box location here, which we can see is this 1523 to this 1513. If we did move back down into this zone, we can argue that we could be setting up for a bigger move. Though confirmation off of the 0.618, which is this 1519, would only come by pushing up past this 1581. If we push up past that 1581, then it becomes more likely that we have something like this playing out, in which case you would have a bigger five-wave structure to the upside. So if we do develop five-wave structure like this can either become an A, we drop back down from B and we get a C wave. And like I said, we'd have to be looking out for that potential of rejection where this becomes a 1-2. Or alternatively, this could be the start of that fifth wave where this becomes a 1, we come back for a 2, then we get this much more powerful third wave come out, and then we'd be looking for that continuation to the upside. So, like I said, the current target zone for that is, I'll throw this on, this 1871 to the 1772. So if we do actually start to break upwards here, that would be where I'm sort of anticipating it as a fifth, though we need to wait for that confirmation. We'd want to get this five-wave move, a three-wave pullback, and then we'd want to start to see this five-wave move getting a bit more vertical here and sort of steep in its structure. We'd want to see a lot of volume coming in, see the excitement within this wave. But like I said, we'd also have to be careful that that 1-to-1 of the wave one actually brings us up into this high again. So if we do get a truncation here, because it has been quite a strong wave, it is possible we could see a push up into this zone and actually continue to get rejected from there. And that could actually be our fifth wave move completed lower down. So we'll have to keep an eye on the subwave structure as it develops. But effectively, this is what we'd be looking for in this case. We'd want to hold this zone here, this 1513 to this 1521, 23, and we wouldn't want to cross back below this 1505. Otherwise, we just have a three-wave structure, and then we could actually look to break down for that next leg to the downside in this fourth wave low. So this is something we just need to keep an eye out. If we start to break down, we can argue that this has potentially been a completed fourth wave. But even if we do find support, we have to move above this 1581 off of that 0.618 retracement. Otherwise, this move could just become a bigger corrective structure like we were talking about, where this becomes an A, a B, and a C. And then we actually look to break down from this red box area, which would be this 1562, while this lower end is this 1540, which we've already come into, to this 1579. So this is just all stuff that can play out here. The, that's pretty much that's pretty much it for the structure. We were also arguing that you can look at you can count this move slightly different, in which case we are looking at the fact that this third completes here, in which case actually let me just turn all this other stuff off. In which case we can argue that potentially if we're looking at this as a fourth wave from this position, um, it could technically be completed in a single move like this. Alternatively, we could still have that final drop for that fifth wave. But basically, what we'd be looking for with this is if we do move up higher here, we'd have to be careful in this zone of the 1663 to this 1598. So this would be an entire range that we'd have to be cautious of, really until we take the high point. Because, like I said, either we could look for extension in this zone, alternatively, what we could get is a more complex move where we fail to develop this fourth and fifth here. We move up, cross this wave one, and then this move basically just becomes a bigger W, X, and a Y. So we can still extend out. It depends which way we want to count it. The preferred count for me is actually that we're looking for that five-wave structure. But if we do just move sideways here and then come back up into this zone, get rejection, break down, it is still possible that we could see this play out as a sort of more complex move here. Yeah, so it is also possible, given the current structure, that if the fourth wave does complete up here, we could still see something play out where we get this as an ABC. Potentially, we come back up for another three-wave move. We come back down for a three-wave move, something to this effect, and we form a triangle here as a fourth wave, and then we look to push up. So, we just got to give it a bit of time because there's a lot of possibilities here, and these things can develop into a lot of things. If it is a triangle, like I said, we'd be looking for that three-wave structure, not looking to take this 17, 14, but then start to form three-wave structure, which actually fails to fall below this 1501. So this is still something on the cards. We need to just give it a bit of space to see how it reacts. Okay, I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. Always happy to hear from you. In the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just mention a member of staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Also in the description below, you'll find affiliate links for both Prime XBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel. There are deposit bonuses which can be found through the website, so check it out. If you don't have an account and you do use the affiliate link, like I said, it does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you in the next one.